Hey, good morning, Trondheim friends, and welcome to Patio Ponderings. It is a beautiful spring day outside, but I am inside not because of the weather, but because of some technical difficulties I have with my recording setup. So here we are, and we are in the Trondheim Church office area by this little library nook that we have. Because if you know me at all, you know that one of my passions is reading. I love to read and always have at least one, if not two books going at a time. So what I have been thinking about in this past week has not to do with what we've been talking about in worship, but it is, it's fueled by what I have been reading. And what I've been reading about is aging and death and end of life. Not something we typically think of as something we wish to be thinking about or pondering. Those are usually negative, maybe even scary things to be thinking about. As we age, our bodies can face significant challenges, even severe limitations. And we address that so often with medical fixes. Also, when we receive diagnoses that are a threat to our mortality, it's always a medical path that we take, and we don't always think about the life that we want to live in the middle of all this. Underneath all of that, we have a culture that denies death, that tries to keep death from view. We often die in hospitals and not at home like we used to back in decades ago in earlier generations. So the book that I've been reading is this. It is called Being Mortal by Dr. Atul Gawande, and it helps us rethink the whole process and ask different questions. Like asking instead, what kind of life do we want to live as we age? Even in our last days and weeks and years, what is most important to us in the life that we live? It does a beautiful job about reframing the conversation. One of the most important things as it does so is I think it encourages us to have conversations. To be pondering these things for ourselves and to share what we're thinking with our loved ones. It's so much easier to do that when we're not imminently facing death and aging. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. So I would encourage you to have some conversations with your family, to be thinking about these things. Ask yourselves if you knew that our time is limited, but if death was imminent, how do you want to live in those last days? What's really important to you to have? Do you want to eke every single moment of life that you can, or is it more important for you to make each moment count or to have each moment be a certain way? And share those things with your family. I think additionally, we need to remember that we are people of faith, that we know that death is not the end. It does not have the last word for us. It is a transition to something new and something better, a place where these questions will go away because we will be whole and healthy for all eternity. So we don't need to be afraid to have these conversations. What do you think? Have you had conversations with your family, with your loved ones about what it is you hope for in your final days and months and years? Have you thought about the quality of the life that you want as you approach the end? I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'm going to link this book below. I think it's just a super helpful way to frame the conversation and frame the questions. I hope you'll take a look at it and enjoy this day, and we'll see you Sunday. Bye.